in millions of miles.
Okay.
It's like 8 something light years away. They're like 8 days light years away, but I don't know how many million miles.
I don't think it's light years away, is it?
It's not.
Yeah.
You can keep going.
But that's like.
Where's the Earth in comparison?
But I do think there's an 8
place
involved in the number. Like I think it's like.
Is it the 8th planet?
I don't know
Far
about
from
that.
the.
No, but I think it's like
200
80,000.
million? No.
I wish I could.
I would go
or maybe just.
Like 800 something miles away.
No, I think like
80,000 miles away. No, I think I want to say it's like 8 days. Like in terms of light years, I want to say it's like 8 days.
That's really.
Or like 8 hours.
Oh yeah, they say it takes a long time to travel to the Earth, sure. But in millions of miles, I mean, anybody else? No. Okay, I'll give you some more hints. Yeah.
Wait, say it again.
It's in millions of miles. How far is the sun from the Earth? 200 is too high.
Okay. 50.
No, it's 93 million miles away.
That's close.
Yeah, we just do this because we know, like, when we just make a point, no one actually knows anything about the globe Earth model that we were all taught. No one knows anything about it. They don't know how big it is, how fast it spins, none of that.
Yeah.
Like, I could have asked you guys how fast the Earth spins, and y'all wouldn't have known. If I'd asked the circumference, I wouldn't have known.
Okay, so these are the questions you're upset. You're like.
Yeah, I mean, I just make them up as I go. I just know that no one knows the answers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
The point is, though, because everyone was just told what the Earth is and they believe it, but the Earth is actually not what everyone was told. Y'all are going to think it's crazy, but the Earth is actually flat. I know I just saw everyone's face change, and it doesn't move, and the sky moves over top of us. Okay, so what they say is that it just looks like the sky moves and we're spinning, right?
Okay.
So when you see the sun move in the sky and it sets, they say it's actually still and you're falling backwards 1,000 miles an hour, and it looks like that.
Is this what I'm supposed to believe because you're telling me right now?
No, I don't want you to blindly believe me.
I'm saying because you're saying, like, trying to prove a point that
Nope.
just learning things in school and believe what you're told.
Yeah, don't blindly believe what you're told.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to say. Go test
So
out
also,
what we're saying.
yeah, what you're saying too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I've been testing the Earth for 5 years, so you can go measure the Earth. It doesn't curve anywhere.
Have you measured the Earth?
Measure parts of the Earth.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't curve anywhere. So if it's not curving anywhere, then it's flat. And you can't have pressure next to a vacuum. That's what they say outer spaces. It's called the second law of thermodynamics. If you've heard of that. So pressure fills the available space. So that's impossible to have pressure next to a vacuum without a container. It's a lot. And I know it sounds crazy, but you just gotta be open-minded. You seem pretty open-minded.
No, I'm open-minded. Yeah, I love to
check it
learn.
out. Yeah, I know it sounds crazy. And if you Google it, you'll get Flat Earth Society. Has anybody got Instagram? I'll give you my Instagram. But, I mean, you know, take it or leave it. You can unfollow me later if you want to. But you have to find the real Flat Earthers, or you'll find disinformation. There's something called Flat Earth Society. The CIA put it out to make us look like crazy. Say we think there's an Earth disc in space spinning, and no one thinks that. The Earth's like the basement. It doesn't move. The sky moves over top of us.
Okay.
And for all recorded history, it's provable. They just say you can't see it change.
But Flat Earth Society is
It's
wrong.
fake.
So that's fake.
All misinformation.
Okay,
But the real Flat Earth stuff
It's us, and we're censored, and I've been kicked off PayPal, Venmo, YouTube, you name it.
Okay, wait, so pictures of the Earth being round.
NASA admits they're just cartoons. So NASA admits it. You can type in Robert Simmons, NASA.gov, blue marble. You've heard
So
the blue
every
marble?
picture of the Earth is wrong.
CGI. Yeah, it's not real.
What does CGI mean?
Computer generated image. Yeah.
What's the Instagram name?
Witsit gets
Here,
it.
that's the Photoshop. Look at the photos they give you. They're just images, and you can see the clouds are duplicated.
Yeah, I'll just show you.
So this is all information you can verify. We don't want you to just blindly believe us, because that's what we did when we were in school with the globe.
This is my IG.
Hey, can I take a picture of that?
Yeah, here, go ahead. This is from Robert Simmons.
Okay.
He works at the NASA Goddard facility in Maryland. And he just talks about, like, nonchalant, not saying like Earth is flat or anything. He's just like, yeah, my job is to make basically Photoshop images of the Earth.
Wait, so is this what you said?
He's just doing his job. It's not like he knows he's lying or anything. We do have some information you can check out, like a starting point.
How do you like
This video is pretty mind-blowing. All the questions that you have about what flat Earth might be are in that video. So I just highly recommend looking at it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, we don't like the word believe. Because we don't want you to believe it. Everyone believes the Earth's a ball, but yeah, I have a decent amount of followers.
Yeah, this is from 1972.
Yeah, like on
Is it a
YouTube,
photo or a
one
painting?
night I saw like 2,000 subs.
How would you know? Because I mean, people say, oh, they didn't have Photoshop back then when they supposedly went to the moon. They can just paint it and show you.
But yeah, we have
Photorealistic paintings. Yeah.
Nice to meet y'all.
You too.
Yeah. Here's some information.
Thanks
Get
for
you
being
started.
open-minded.
Sure, yeah, thanks.
Later.
Later.
Bye-bye. My wife said back off my pictures. Wow, bro. Mumsy Bear, thank you for the super chat and support, brother.
Man, Austin's just a chick.
They said no at first. That was great. Thank you, bro. Yeah, you gotta feel people out. You gotta read their body language. As soon as I said the Earth was flat, they all changed that to reel them back in. Where you go? Get back over here. Yeah, boys. Yeah, bitch. Yeah, sitting all usually. Chill out, bro. Please skip. Not with the sin no more, bro. God's sending people nothing right. I'm trying to keep up. Don't worry, y'all. We got you. Send them to us and we'll tell them the truth. Be blessed, bro. Keep standing. Will do. Thank you very much for supporting the kind words, bro. Thanks for support, Paul. Let's go. I need a cruise gravity. Do it. You know what my crew is? This guy.
Hey, what's up, chat? We got 12 people here watching. Ricardo Montalvo, Anthony Dickinson, Alliance Creed, Redox Bear, Kirk Wilson. What's up, everybody? Thanks for stopping by. Back in DC again. There's the Capitol building right there, all blocked off. Not allowed to go there. There's no more military here, but the fence is still there. Pretty interesting to look at all the architecture, all the Greek, pretty weird statues and designs.
I hate to break this off, but the shoe is coming back with the sword and you're going to get dominated from slice. You can take your little stupid sword and shove it. Yeah, that's right. You're going down, homie. Thinks he's cool, majesty of law. Yeah, that's a cool story. You know, it looks like you should get to the real law. Huh? This guy's going to come and bring his own law. You should actually get back to the Torah.
Hey, you want some free information? No, Earth is flat.
Hey, bro, you know the Earth's actually flat, bro?
What's up?
The Earth's flat.
Oh man, I'm good.
Dude, you don't want to talk about it?
I don't want to talk about it.
Alright.
Not on work time.
Okay,
If I
fair
wasn't
enough.
working, maybe
Okay,
another
fair
time.
enough.
Alright.
Look me up on YouTube, bro. Witsit gets it. Alright, you can't have pressure next to a vacuum, bro. Space is fake.
That's a big red coat for a lot of people.
Yep.
Space is fake. That triggers people. What do you mean space is fake?
He pointed to his body cam. Maybe he's one of the good guys. You know, like they want to have 1 million. He's actually got his body cam on.
Racism, thanks for doing this. Yeah, no problem. It's my pleasure. I'm happy to be out here with the FE family.
I know it's going to sound crazy, but have you ever heard the Earth is flat?
Yeah.
We have heard that before.
It is,
Yeah.
man.
Yes,
I've been testing
it is. We've been testing it for 5 years.
It's not curving. It's definitely not curving.
Here, check it out. Flat Earth 101.
All
right.
It's always horizontal, right? That's where the word came from. Horizon.
Oh, that's interesting. That looks like the glass building from the Lost History of Flat Earth.
You think it's strange that all these females are coming out of the word working a little? No, not really.
Wonder when that was built.
Talking to you guys about why. It's interesting to say the least. I know that females, open-minded females with pure spirits are very vulnerable positions.
Oh, I think we're supposed to go this way.
Yeah,
You're gonna see the sights.
This is, what is this called? Isn't this called something?
You believe Christians should try astral
no clue.
projection? Well, I'm not a fan of the word Christian, but no, you should not try astral projection at all. Check this out, right? This isn't weird at all. They're really if you haven't put that together yet. They're coming out of the water. Oh, also such a conspiracy theory and theories until it happens, then it doesn't matter. It's not like he's gonna pop up on me and say, told you so. So they're coming out of water. They're obsessed with water. It's all about water, water, water. This is all Roman idolatry, pagan statues, and it's all about water. They came out of the water once, they're coming out of the water again, homie.
Yeah, Witsit gets it. For those of you just joining us.
How weird is this?
This way.
Awesome. We got Chris from the Maskeraid Tour. Flat Earth Trio. Flat smacking on the streets of DC.
Hey guys, you want to hear something that's crazy, but it's actually true? The Earth is not a spinning ball, it's a mat.
It's free information.
Yeah,
Check it out.
Flat. It doesn't move anywhere.
I'm alright.
Yeah.
Alright, well, you can only learn new information if you're open-minded, you know? What's going on with
Oh, that's the botanical gardens. Botanic garden observatory. Conservatory, not observatory. It's pretty cool though. Big glass building.
The grabblers just think they're funny, bro. They're trying to keep the view.
According to history, they got buildings like these in England from like the 1700s. Before there was automatic glass factories. And they're supposed to have built these in a very short amount of time.
Now you know.
It's the face of someone who just got flat smacked.
Yeah, that is pretty creepy.
What is that? I rebuke this building in the name of Jehovah. It will crumble. It will crumble. And when you guys come back, your little reign will be short-lived. And then you will get decimated.
What a creepy statue.
Dude, look at his face.
That's evil.
Oh, he's probably here to help us, huh, guys? As long as he can float and make me immortal.
It's a museum. Botanical garden.
Wow. Garden.
Just getting some water, guys.
No worries, bro.
All right. Hitting the road again. It's my flat smacking bag. The Washington Monument in the background there. You can see it from pretty much anywhere. 6,660 inches tall. Here we are coming around to that little lake in front of the Capitol. I think this will be a good place for some flat smacking. I'll set up my research flat earth sign with the bamboo frame. I hope the stabilization is pretty good for this camera. Have y'all ever looked into flat earth? Got some information for you. Can't hurt you.
Of what?
Information about flat earth.
Oh,
about where we
have
live.
heard,
Yeah?
Yeah, they lied about the earth. I've tested it for 5 years. It's not curving.
We're not
You can
spinning.
measure it.
We're not going around like crazy through a vacuum of space. We don't feel motion.
Y'all are
I have heard, yes.
I
Yeah.
watched videos
Heard
about
this
that.
theory.
Yeah?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
if you YouTube it, actually all you get is misinformation videos. In Congress, they admit they censor it. I've been kicked off PayPal, Venmo. If you type in my literal channel name, you still won't even get it.
Huh.
Because we're heavily censored, yeah. But you can measure it yourself. The Earth doesn't
Here,
curve.
that's a video that'll
It
answer
also
your
doesn't
questions.
move. So like when you see the sun set, right? You see the sun move in the sky and go away from it and set. What they say is that the sun is actually sitting still and you're falling backwards 1,000 miles an hour and it just looks like it's moving.
Oh, wow.
But it's actually just moving.
Right.
The Earth doesn't move and then the sky moves over top of us and the sun and the moon move over top of us. Yeah, they say...
Oh, go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
they also say the sun is 400 times bigger than the moon. Just coincidentally, it's exactly 400 times further away also. So they look like they're exactly the same size so we can have perfect eclipses. But the truth is just that they're the same size.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so.
Where do you get your information
Very
from?
interesting.
I've tested the Earth for 5 years.
Tested it.
Yeah, you can go
Tested
measure
it.
it. You can go measure the Earth.
How do you measure it?
Long distance observations. So the Earth supposedly has a radius of 3,959 miles. That means you should see the curvature of the Earth at 1 square root of the observer's height in feet.
You totally lost me.
Simply,
It's supposed to be curving around. If you're looking in the distance, then at some point it's got to curve way out there,
like you
right?
can't see through a
Right,
wall.
So where have you
So
tested
objects would be hidden.
California, Florida, Tennessee.
Like
See,
mountains?
my
Utah.
husband
Yeah, in
is
France
a
we see mountains.
surveyor,
Yeah.
and he would
Thinks it's a
disagree.
ball. Yeah, but he's a plane surveyor.
No,
He assumed
geodesic.
No, he does a
Is
lot
it
of
geodetic?
surveying, yes.
Yeah, but whenever you actually measure the Earth surveying, I know like hundreds of them, you have to take what's called a plumb line, which
Yes,
is
I know what that
vertical,
is.
and you
Yes.
assume it's vertical to the horizontal plane, right, level, and then you actually take measurements, and you have to go in different angles to ensure accuracy from all different angles, in short, small increments, assuming that it's vertical, horizontal to a plane. So, I mean, to measure the Earth, you have to assume it flat. Plane survey always assumes it's flat. And what they do to map it out on a ball, they take all the plane survey data and then they stitch it together and then they bend it around the ball and they try to make it work on a ball, but it actually doesn't. Yeah, they have to flatten it to an ellipsoid. It's still off a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a whole bunch of information. It sounds
is,
crazy.
it is.
It does sound crazy.
No,
but,
I have heard of this. Have you ever heard of Rick and Bubba? It's
that's a southern
I know it's a southern thing, but
I'm from
they're
Tennessee.
Okay.
they are a radio station out of Birmingham, and I actually heard about the Earth being flat theory.
Really?
on their show.
Interesting.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, you might come across something called Flat Earth Society. Total misinformation.
I can't. I'm sorry, y'all.
Okay.
This is just so funny to me.
You think you're spinning right now? Because it's funny to me that you think you're spinning.
I mean, honestly, I don't put much thought into it.
Well, no one thinks about it. I used to think the Earth was a ball until I tested it.
Yeah, it's easy to believe something that somebody tells you, but what you can do
that the
is,
good Lord created the earth.
yeah,
and
you can
that's all I
you can
know.
investigate it for yourself.
Yeah. We
Oh, it's gonna get real now.
Okay,
Scriptures
you're gonna
are
need to read
Flat
this.
Earth book.
200
Yeah.
verses in there talking about flat
Earth.
Earth.
Shaped like clay under a sill.
Check it out.
Flat, like whenever kings used to sign letters, they would actually take clay and they'd flatten it out and then make a sill.
Right.
They say that Earth takes shape like clay under a sill. In Genesis, it says there's a firmament that separates the
But
heavenly
do you
waters.
think that's literal?
I think the scriptures are literally true. Yeah.
But yes, but you have to kind of like you have to take it into context. You know, you have to read. I mean,
Yeah, there was no
context is what
idea
they're
of a
describing
globe
the
back
Earth.
then.
there are a lot of things in the Bible that. I mean, I do believe the Bible is literal, but you have to like take a lot of things into
And everyone back then
consideration.
knew the Earth was flat.
But wait, don't you
There was
think
no globe.
I don't know if they knew though. I mean, I don't know if they.
Well, every ancient civilization did it. Hebrew cosmology. So Yeshua, they call him Jesus. His name was Yeshua. He would have had to come and not tell everyone that they were wrong about the Earth because Hebrew cosmology was that it's flat. But just point blank, the scriptures say that it doesn't move. It says it's immovable and fixed in Psalm, Job, Isaiah, and in Genesis. It says there's a firmament that separates the heavenly waters from the earthly waters. That word is rakia in Hebrew, which is when you beat bronze out, so it's impenetrable. You can't go to outer space vacuum. You can't have pressure next to a vacuum anyway. That's the second law of thermodynamics, but the scriptures are literally true. There's a firmament up there. And that's why we have a rainbow. You know, like he gave us the rainbow to know that it doesn't flood anymore.
Right.
Well, the modern church will just say, well, it's just pretty, and you know that it won't. But the truth is, you have to have a reflective surface to get a rainbow, right? And so when you see that rainbow fully connected, it's him literally showing you, like, look, you know, when it flooded, they opened up the gates of heaven so that it could flood. When you see the firmament fully connected, the rainbow is showing you, like, the gate's not open. It can't flood right now. Every time you see a rainbow, that's showing you the firmament's still closed. So it's literally physical evidence that it won't flood. It's a totally different, and I think they actually lied about it so that when people read the scriptures, they're like, this is stupid.
Looks a little something like this, with the sun and the moon as small points of light, just circling around, kind of like this is. This is the Flat Earth app, the clock app. The sky is a perfect clock. That's how we know the days, seasons, months. It used to be called moons after the moon, but now they changed it to months. And so it just goes around like a perfect timepiece made by our Creator.
There's a light for the day that rules the day, and there's a light that rules the night.
Yeah. Genesis 1.
Psalm says it's immovable and fixed and will never move. Revelation says there's corners of the earth with angels that control the winds. And it's actually illegal to explore past the 60th south latitude, which is what people call Antarctica. Every country in the world has agreed you can't explore there, which would prove either you could come around the other side of a ball, circumnavigation. It's illegal. So
you guys have made it your mission to like let people know.
I brought thousands of people to Christ by doing this, Yeah, and I used to actually, I knew about it before I got right with Christ. And so I prayed and fasted about it because I thought people were like, oh yeah, of course you think Jesus is real. You think the earth is flat, you're crazy. And he showed me that actually he wants me to tell people because creation shows his majesty and we're the center of everything. The earth is the center of everything. We're not a tiny speck of dust in this huge universe of randomness, you know, about to get hit by an asteroid and all this crazy stuff. Like, it's the center of everything. It's very special. He made it for us. And he gave us domain on the earth. That means that we're very special, right? And so when people realize that we're geocentric, it had to be created.
It's proof of creation.
Yeah, it's proof of creation. And then they get to the scriptures eventually.
The firmament showeth his handiwork. Psalms 19:1. So that's what we see in the sky. It's a firmament. That divides the waters above from waters below.
I'm like her. I just don't think too deeply into it.
I just know I'm here and I'm blessed every day that I am.
But it is very I mean, it's a very interesting theory and very interesting.
It connects you with the earth and creation and our Creator.
Well, y'all are pretty open-minded, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
You already know the scriptures are real. But there are millions of people that don't. You know, this lie actually is what has made people atheists. They think that evolution's real. They think that millions and millions of years and all this.
Have you ever heard of Ken Ham?
Ken Hovind?
Ken Ham, the Ark guy.
Yeah,
he made the
Ark
ark.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever like looked into it? Because he
Yeah, I'm on the
studied
fence.
creation and so it would be interesting to see what he.
Yeah, no,
would.
he hates
y'all
this
should go to the
idea.
Ark.
Oh, he does.
He really
Y'all
hates
should
it.
go
Yeah.
meet him.
It takes a
Yeah.
lot of faith. You have to bend the scriptures to say it says it's a ball. It says it's immovable and fixed. So you have to say, well, when it says it's immovable and fixed, and it'll never. It actually means that it's spinning, and it's fixed in orbit, revolving around the sun. And I'll tell you this too. Also, the truth is, this is the enemy's lie. And then they marked it. He's so arrogant, he couldn't help but stamp his number on it. So you know his number, of course, is 666.
Right.
Well, they say we're going around the sun 66,600 miles per hour. That's 666.
You don't
They say
feel
we're
it.
on a 66.6 degree tilt. They say that the curvature of the Earth is 8 inches per mile squared. That's 0.666 feet per mile squared. Gravity's number is 6.666, which rounded up to 6.67. The circumference of the Earth in nautical miles is 21,600, which is 6 times 6 times 600. The diameter of the moon supposedly is 2,160, which is 6 times 6 times 60. 666 is all throughout the globe Earth model. They actually are sun worshippers, and that's why they say we go around the sun. Helios, the Statue of Liberty, is actually a Helios statue. So they're very powerful people that are sun worshippers. They made this lie up, but they know what the Earth is. If you read Masonic literature, all of this is Masonic buildings. If you read their literature, they know what the Earth is, and it's just kind of a trick. They're like, the dumb humans don't know. We just lied to them.
So you're against the Masonic?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. They're
Yeah,
Luciferians.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So.
Well, cool. Thank you for being open-minded.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, it
Thanks
is a
for
very
enlightening us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a very deep subject, and it's one of those things like I personally probably wouldn't. It's not gonna get me to heaven or hell if I believe.
It's
if
not
I
a salvation
believe that,
issue
right? It's
necessarily.
not salvation.
But if we don't know the earthly things, how can we understand the heavenly things, huh?
That's right. But I don't think we
We'll
will
never know
understand
all
the
things, though.
heavenly
God's the
till
only
we get
all-knowing
there.
But he
being.
tells us to hold steadfast and prove all things to be true.
Right, and I can definitely appreciate that you guys. If
I
this is
respect
what
the
you
passion.
believe. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
prayed and
so-
fasted. He told me to do it. Trust me, I had to give up like a 6-figure job offer. I've been kicked off Venmo, PayPal, YouTube. I get death threats.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to do
Crazy.
this. Last thing I want to do is walk up to someone and say the thing that makes them think you're crazy.
Yeah,
but
if you
he
feel
told
like
me to.
that's- Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I will definitely then keep this and check it out.
Sweet.
So,
Thank you
all
guys
right.
for being open-minded.
Y'all have a great night.
Hey, do you happen to have Android phones? Because I can get you that app for free if you have
I
Android.
know I don't have an
No.
Android.
Okay, well, if you know someone who does, this will help you find it.
Oh,
On the
okay.
back, there's a code that you can put in.
That's the flat
that-
Earth map.
Yeah, if you know somebody that might be interested,
Okay.
there's a free download for you.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep.
Y'all have a good night.
Yep, take care. All right, how about that, guys? That was cool. It's nice to see open-minded people. We're still live. Let's check the chat. Shout out to Just Jack for reminding me to use the Sun Zodiac. Just Jack, Zulu 1, Carter Montalvo, what's up, guys? Thanks for stopping by. Got the Capitol building up here. I know it's getting a little dark, but you know, I do what I can. And then the big obelisk out here.
I'm gonna plug this phone in. Tell them about the full moon real quick. Yeah, we're gonna tell everyone about the flat Earth, all the proofs. You'll be here for 30 hours. Here, I'm gonna try to.
Thanks, Zulu 1. He says you guys are doing great. Ate a gnat. Oh, that's nasty. Oh, there's so many bugs here.
Plug it up. You gotta turn it on.
Oh, there's a girl from earlier.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're gonna be able to keep drone now that I gotta plug in it. Usually just have it. Give me this. Alright guys, we're gonna keep it rocking for you guys over That's why I never did nothing for you. Make sure you thumbs up at Critical Inception as well. Indeed. That was awesome, dude. Thank you, bro. Divine appointment. Yeah, like what? 5 in a row? Probably grandfather was amazing. My great grandfather was amazing too.
This looks like a good spot for a flat earth sign.
Yeah, let's put it up. I got a little practice and it's looking better. Look at this creepy place. This is where they strip all your rights from the guys that actually protect you. Isn't that convenient? Introduce the crew for us, dude. Alright. This is my boy Alex, Critical Inception on YouTube.
Yo,
This
what's up?
is my boy Chris, who's on the Maskeraid Tour with me, the most interesting man on flat earth. Because he looks like the Dos Equis, but we don't promote stupid alcohol, guys.
You guys get a first-person view of the bamboo sign setup.
Oh, I'm glad you asked.
Let's see.
Why do I think the Earth is flat? Well, because I've tested it for over 5 years and it doesn't curve anywhere. According to the globe Earth, it's supposed to curve at 8 miles squared per 1,000 miles. So we have a radius of 3,959 miles. So that means that you would see the curvature of the Earth at 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height of feet. So simply, once you have the surface of the Earth, you should see the curvature of the Earth at 1.25 miles away. In fact, we have an observation 1 foot on the surface of the Earth. The curvature of the Earth is nowhere to be found. And it rises over 10 miles away, requiring the radius to be 264,000 miles. In addition, they claim that they go to space and it's a near perfect vacuum of 10 to the negative 17 torr, but of course the way that we are alive is we breathe oxygen. You can't have a pressurized system adjacent to a near perfect vacuum of 10 to the negative 17 torr. That violates the second law of thermodynamics. Pressure will always fill the available space, entropy will increase. So no, space cannot exist as they have defined. Supposedly NASA went to the moon in 1969, they just can't go back. I guess they said they destroyed the technology and it's a difficult process to build it back. So I don't blindly believe the government, centered in this location, like there's probably wars all around the world. They tell you that passports fly out of fire on 9/11 to show you where the bad guy is. I'd rather go test it and find the empirical evidence and not blindly believe what they say. When I went and tested the Earth, it's not anywhere. 70% of the Earth is water. Well, water always finds its level. It's called fluid statics. How could 70% of a ball be level? Here's a little summary for you guys. That's one of my main tactics, is just to act like you guys asked me if I Who asked? No one asked, bro. No one ever asked. I love doing that, dude. That's like my favorite. Because they always like start listening to like, it's kind of crazy what you say, and then by the end of it, they're just like walking away, like mind melting. Because we never heard any of it, bro. So we're gonna put a flat earth sign up. My man's is on the job. My man's is on the job. It's really good, right? He's using the sun. We'll build them everywhere. Most of them will be about Roman gods that were pedophiles. That's not weird. Why are there naked babies all over your guys' city? What am I missing? It's weird. I don't want to see a naked baby all over the city. Naked babies.
This is probably gonna slide on the marble, but I'll see what I can do.
Maybe he's very secure and confident, dude. He's gotta be well endowed if this isn't intimidating him, bro. 6,666
There it is. Research flat Earth. As long as the wind stays chill, this will be fine. Let's see, where's the best place to put it? I guess facing the monument. Looks like the mods are hard at work in the chat, keeping law and order.
Statues of Roman gods and Nimrod and Isis and every other pagan god you can think of, and naked baby, because this is the capital of Babylon. They rebuilt Rome, they rebuilt Babylon, and when they officially create their new world order, this will be at least the military headquarters. Dun dun dun.
It's good to go.
Oh, cool. Check it out. What you guys know about that? Take it in. Yeah. Research flat Earth. Or blindly believe the government, because the government would never lie. Well, the government lies, but NASA's the one exception. NASA's the one governmental entity and agency that would never lie. They just went to the moon in 1969 and can't go back 50 years later, when my iPhone 12 Pro has better processing than a warehouse of computers back then. Or they still can't go back to the moon. Seems legit. Go back to sleep. Post for the gram. Post for the gram. Listen to Drake's newest mixtape. That's all that matters. Make sure you watch Netflix.
We had a globe head in the chat.
I still have never seen the White House one. I'll see it tomorrow or something. That'd be good. Someone just mentioned it.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's probably about like a 15-minute walk down that way.
It's all good.
Past the Washington Monument.
It's all good. Made that turn to dust. Yeah, Babylon's gonna fall, bro. There's no other way around it. I know you guys have heard a lot of this, but I just try to speak loudly so other people can hear it. This is the best stream ever. Thanks, bro. Look how cool this is, bro. Who else has this shot right here, bro?
Yeah, I can dig it. Yeah, that's weird. I gotta figure out how to make the lens linear when I go live, because I have it set up a certain way just for regular filming, but then when it goes live it just goes wide angle for whatever reason. I didn't tell it to do that. But yeah, I prefer linear.
This place is super dead, though. It's just like the capital of the U.S. No one's here. We're just walking around the hall like the whole.
Hey, you're still here. What's up?
I like to take pictures. I look.
Awesome. Yeah, we got the sign set up just to spread awareness, you know.
Hey, are you live?
Yeah.
Alright, perfect. I think I'm gonna wrap this live up, guys, because my battery's super low. So, I love you guys. Research Osiris. I'm not gonna read that.
One of the mods can link my channel in there, Critical Inception.
Yeah, if you want to continue watching the stream, go to Critical Inception's channel. Someone may link it for us. See if I can do it.
That one actually, like, do you want to try it? I'll show you how.
In a world. Bro, I already did this once, dude. Share. Copy link. Love you, dog. Keep up the great work. Will do, bro. Thanks, Austin. Much love. Much love. There's Critical Inception's channel. And he's going to keep streaming.
It's actually time for me to change batteries, but I can do that without ending the stream.
Holy proclaiming. You got to, man. Yeah, and of course, in conclusion, what I will say is, well, if the Earth is geocentric, which it provably is, that means it was created, you're special, the Creator made you, He loves you. In addition to that, the truth of the matter is the scriptures are actually literally true. Yeah, religion sucks, but the scriptures are true. Yeshua is the one true Messiah. People call him Jesus, which is actually a Talmudic curse on his name. May his name and remembrance be blotted out. Not that that matters. I know he supersedes semantics. The point is that people just hear the word Jesus, and that's all that they know. And they're like, oh, Jesus is fake. But Yeshua is actually true. And Yehovah is also the one true creator, the Father. Yeshua is the Son and the mediator to him. You got right with him. We're in the end. They're conditioning us for the mark of the beast. That's why they scan your wrist and forehead when you go into stores for the last year. Or it could just be a coincidence. Alright guys, seek and speak truth unequivocally. The weak find contentment in the consensus of ignorance. And when they revile you for his name's sake, rejoice, for they do that to all the prophets before you. If you want to support the tour, maskeraidtour.com, $Witsit gets it on Cash App, Witsit at protonmail.com on PayPal, which is of course my homie's PayPal, because they kick me out. Yeah, and I'll catch up with y'all later. Peace. Take this off, my back is tripping.
Alright, welcome everybody. If you're just joining in from Austin's stream, we're gonna keep hanging out, talking about flat earth here at the Capitol. Do you have the mic with you?
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Spit my song on the mic.
I'd like to see that.
I could play the song.
Welcome, Nomad. Thanks for the sub.
I got the speaker. I can play the song on the speaker.
Got Jason White, Level Up, Bill Wool, Shalom Shalom, Sam I Am. Hey, Patricia, intentionally spaced out. Shout out to the chat. Cedar Rabbit, welcome. Hey, Dr. Law. What's up, homie? I mean, I'm not opposed to seeing the White House tonight if there's a crowd over there. But it's up to you guys, whatever you want to do. But I gotta work. I gotta work tomorrow, so
Do you?
yeah, won't be able to come out.
Oh, that sucks. We can walk there if you want to. I just like my back was kind of hurting.
Dude, it's a long walk. It's past.
Dude, I just got like 12.
Let's check Google. Let's see what they say it is. What say you, Google? Directions. Oh yeah, it's 2.6 miles.
Yeah, it'd take us
30 minutes. Yep, a little further than I thought it was, but
well, you walk about 3 miles an hour, so
Perfect. I'm trying to get the camera. Yeah.
Excuse me, I got some information for you just real quick. Just check it out when you get a chance.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Here, do one more?
I'm okay, thank
Okay.
you.
All right.
It's only one logical thing to do right now. Play my song.
Yeah.
I don't care, dude. I don't care. Dang it.
First science that I never took. I never
My back hurts, man. Why my back hurts?
Yeah.
Hey, Trevor. Good to see you, man.
I'm actually pretty sure that the like the YouTube version of my song is like not very good quality.
You have a different version?
On my laptop that I play the intro on,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like embedded into the StreamYard. Right.
Hey, Robel's in the chat.
Yep.
Robel.
Rebel.
Oh, what's up, bro?
Yeah. He says, great stream tonight, guys.
Brother.
Thanks, dude. You get a wrench? Ruach Netzarim. That's his YouTube name.
Yep.
What does that mean? I think I've heard Ruach before. Spirit?
Yeah, Nesreem is like what the followers of Yeshua call him.
Cool. You gonna do it? You film a music video?
I'm not rapping it. Although this would be a great scene for it.
For real. Take it right out of the live stream.
Dude, I should make a music video in front of this thing. That's who's in the field for them.
Surplus, but they tell us there are shortages. Credit economy mortgages, dollar that's supported with. What's important is this reportership supporting? Yes, of course it is. Extortionist, accordance with historicalist, the foreign tricks we know and which informant this, informant this. Endorsing it. Yeah, eugenics is exactly what abortion is. You just vilify those as subordinate. Wait a matrix engineer, that's unfortunate. Geopolitically, we unfilled. Just for Israel, wonder is it real? Rappers actors say they high, say they simple pills. Glorify suicide so they get the deals. Big pharma set it up just to flip the pills. Control the music industry until the scripts get filled. Geopolitically, yeah, we unfilled. That's for Israel, wonder is it real?
And music video. Somebody cut that up. Give a thumbs up for Austin, guys. JJ Hempcrete. Dude, thanks for stopping by. Dude's got the best product. Cream, CBD oil. Hit him up. Plug your channel, JJ. Or your website. Go ahead and do that, man. Copyright strike.
It says, "And salt water shall be found in the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another. Then shall wit hide itself, and understanding shall withdraw."
Nice, 55 watching. Thanks for coming, guys. It's a new record from my channel. Sweet.
Place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. We are going to have
Ruach Netzarim. It means spirit of the Messiah's disciples. God bless. Thank you. That's cool. Hallelujah, Jack. Tommy, that flat fellow. What's up, man? Yeah, we've got to wait 3 weeks for the next episode. That sucks. Freaking YouTube.
Verse 5 of Psalm 91. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness.
Just reading the chat, guys. I'm not sure where Austin went. He walked off somewhere. But he left his audio down.
At thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. It will take a Psalm 91 experience to have supernatural protection while witnessing the reward of the wicked and the judgment that is falling. There's another side to this. There's not just the spiritual, but there's the tangible physical aspect. In Isaiah 26, it says,
JJCBDrub.com. Check it out, guys. JJ Hempcrete. Talked a lot. Yeah, we got 500 agents watching also. Yeah, sure. Yeah, Nomad, that would be cool. Bolivian Salt Flats music video. Got some customers. Stay tuned, guys.
I was like, do you want me to swap? You know what you guys should do? Stay on the top flight. I just stay on the bottom one. I like the idea.
Excuse me, I got some information for you. Check it out.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's about where we live.
Okay.
Alright? Hey, I got some information for you. It's about where we live. Check it out.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Hey man, I got some free information for you. It's about flat Earth. Check it out. You're tired?
Why am I back?
It's all good.
It's all good. Customer territory, I guess.
Yep, 1 second.
Did our homie leave?
DC will do that to you.
I'm at like 9% though.
But the little Hispanic homie left?
Yeah, I think so. I think she was by herself. She was just taking pictures. Yeah, no problem, JJ. Yes, flat smack them check. I did. I got him. Not too open-minded though.
How far are you? 30 minutes?
Can't trust a guy with no beard.
Are you looking at Christina's location or ours?
So, why is Earth flat?
It's not curving.
Okay, so Christina's leaving with them.
What are your sources?
I've tested the Earth myself for like 5 years.
You went up into space?
Yeah, so just
No, you can't
use
go to
Tracy's
space.
location.
How far have you been up?
As high as anyone else has.
30 minutes?
Here, check it out.
Flight.
It's a
Yeah,
website
so
on there.
Space can't exist the way that they say it does. I mean, there's a lot to it. If y'all really want to hear it, I'll tell you all about it. I mean, it can't exist the way they say it does. They say it's a near perfect vacuum of 10 to the negative 17 torr, right? Okay, so there's something called the second law of thermodynamics. Pressure will always fill the available space. H degree will increase. Sounds complicated. It's not. If you open a soda, it equalizes to the pressure around it. There's high built-up pressure in the soda. Once you remove the seal, it's no longer contained. It will equalize around it with lower pressure around it. You couldn't have a pressurized system, which is how we're breathing 14.7 psi the surface, right? You can't have pressure next to a vacuum. It would go into the vacuum. It's called the second law of thermodynamics. It has to be contained to have pressure. It's actually in the word, right? Pressure, presses on the walls of a container. So the way that they claim space exists literally couldn't exist. In addition, no one's gone to space except for the government, and supposedly they went to the moon in 1969, and they can't go back.
So what do you think of like SpaceX and stuff like that that's not owned by the government, like private entities?
They get hundreds of millions of dollars in grants from the government, and Elon's on record himself saying that they would have never gotten to space without NASA. So they effectively are. They just knew that people stopped trusting the government, so they had to use us.
What is like the purpose even of? I don't know anything about the sciences, but
why would they lie?
Yeah, like why? I mean, you would probably understand how conspiratorial it sounds.
Sure, yeah. I thought it was the craziest thing I've ever heard. Why would they lie? That's actually a subjective question. I can speculate. I always say this though, so like if I walked up to you and you had a boyfriend, I'm like, I got a video of your boyfriend cheating on you, you know, would you say, I'm not looking at the evidence until you can tell me why he would lie to me, because he would never do that. Or you would just look at the evidence, find out he lied, and then maybe figure out why, right? So the evidence is the most important part, but why would they lie? We give NASA $60 million a day. Okay, so the government always lies for money. In addition to that, there's something called the Antarctic Treaty. You can't go past the 60th south latitude, which is effectively a circle around us, or it would be a circle in the bottom of the ball, so they could be hiding land. Land's the most valuable thing that exists, so that's why they could lie. The reason I truly think they lied, though, is they told us we were a tiny speck of dust in this ever-expanding universe, and we came from apes and all this other nonsense, right? And that nothing really matters, and we're just lucky to exist because we're this tiny speck of dust in this huge universe, and there are probably aliens and stuff like that. But if the Earth doesn't move, it's the center of everything. It doesn't move, the sky moves over top of us. If it's the center of everything, it's called geocentric, as opposed to heliocentric. It's geocentric, it had to be created because it doesn't move, and it's the center of everything that exists. It had to be put there. And so if it's been put there, then that means someone put it there. And so I think they lied to hide the creator.
The creator?
Yeah, there's a creator.
Did you see they like experiment? I forget like what guy did it. Like the Greek guy. He was like in Egypt.
Aristophanes.
And he put the stick in the ground.
Sticks in the shadows, yeah. Actually, there's no primary documentation of that happening, but it doesn't actually matter.
Have you done it before?
Yeah, you can do it. Yeah. We've done it on a flat surface, and you get the same result. The difference is the light source, the distance from the light source. So when he did that, he assumed that the sun was very far away and had parallel rays, right? Or it's local and it has divergent rays that move out and then converge onto the sun. You get the same exact result if it's local. So, and that's what we observe. We observe that it's local. Like we have what's called crepuscular rays. All the rays converge onto the sun. They say it just looks like that. They're actually parallel from 93 million miles away. Of course, the distance of the sun has changed like 6 times in the last year. They have to always update their story. But
I can show you right here, sticks and shadows. Sorry, there's a shadow on that stick over there. No shadow on this one. See how it's longer. This one barely anything, that one is a longer shadow. So the light source is small and local to the wells that he was testing or whatever.
So what other government conspiracies do you believe in?
Government lies about everything. What have they told the truth about? They admitted that they started the Vietnam War with the Gulf of Tonkin, that they attacked their own ship to start the war and lied and said Vietnam did it. They said that in 9/11 a passport popped out of fire, floated down to the surface showing us the bad guy. A passport popped out of an explosion to show us the bad guy. That was actually, I was at the Pentagon today actually doing a stream. They, the day before 9/11, they came out and said $2.1 trillion was missing, mysteriously. The very next day was 9/11, and the area that had the documentation for the money that was missing is the area that got hit by a plane, which it wasn't a plane actually, there's no proof of that.
I think George Bush did 9/11.
He was involved in it, he knew about it.
So true.
He absolutely knew about it. The government lies about everything. And the only proof there is the ball, supposedly, is that the government went to space. So it would NASA, everyone just thinks NASA's like different, I guess.
So what do you think of like satellite pictures?
What pictures?
Satellite pictures?
Oh yeah, most of those are composite pictures where you stitch them together.
How about like private company pictures? Say they
also-
send like something like a balloon
So
in
there,
space.
that's your Photoshop.
Well, I know that
You got the
they-
clouds
when they
all
take-
cloned.
When they do pictures in space.
The images that you think are a
Are you sure
real
that picture's
globe.
not photoshopped?
You can look it up for yourself. This is from NASA. So go look at all the globes that
I
you
can
see,
directly quote what they
and you
say.
can test it yourself.
That was gravity, yeah. No, that
And
was
you can see they're all
the
different
helium balloon
from
just
different
defied
space
gravity, so did
agencies.
butterflies.
They're all working together just to give us BS. They're all different
You think the
globes.
Soviet Union and the US would work together?
Whoever's in charge at the very top, the people who are just doing the regular jobs, like, it's all compartmentalized. They don't know what's going on. They're just doing their one little
They
job.
did hide land, yeah.
So whoever's in charge at the very top, they're the ones that have to know. So there doesn't have to be a lot of people that know that they're lying.
Why? Thought they were
I guess,
enemies.
So,
So then they'd get people to work on making the fake stuff?
yeah, like this, satellites. You see them hanging from balloons. You can go look it up. NASA has a massive balloon program where they have helium balloons that send up these satellites. They weigh like tons, like school bus weight. They send them up to like 100,000 feet in the air, and that's where you get all your signals coming from. And they can go on the jet streams to circumnavigate around the flat Earth, which would be like this. So you see the Antarctica would be in the center, and you have all the continents splayed out here, and Antarctica would be around here. And there could possibly be other unknown continents on the outer ring, in the outer space of the flat plane.
There's not even a picture.
So you get that word outer space. It's not like a vacuum above our heads. It would be out horizontal, because all the water is flat. All the oceans are one flat level.
What causes these places to be ice and these warm?
Well, the sun and the moon, they go around like this. They're small light sources, and the sun's heat would be melting the ice in a localized area. So everything else would potentially be frozen. This is just an idea based on an old Chinese flat Earth map from like thousands of years ago that could give you the idea that there is more land
So you think there's two
outside of
suns?
Antarctica. I don't necessarily believe that. It's just a speculation, but we know that water lays level and flat, and we're not living on a spinning globe. It's just not physically possible. When you think about the actual physics of it, to have a spinning ball, you would have to have curvature, and you would have to have spinning motion. You'd have to be able to detect it, and there's no instrument that could possibly detect motion of the Earth.
What's it called?
They all work for the beast system.
What's that called? It's gyroscope?
Yeah, it keeps rigidity in space. So if you think about it, when you're flying on an airplane, they all spin their gyroscopes up before they take off. And then they go up, and then they travel far across the flat Earth. If they were curving around a ball, first of all, they'd have to dip the nose as they go around the curve to keep their level. To fly straight and level, the gyroscope would end up tilting to go, or it would stay in the same place, and then the plane would be, it would keep having to, it would show that the nose is raising up. And that's just not what we see. It's called flat and level flight, straight and level.
Can you see all the? Can you like see straight?
Okay, that
Yeah, we see in a straight line, and you can use super zoom telescopes.
Can you use a microscope, like not a microscope,
Telescope?
telescope to like
Yeah.
see forever? Can you possibly?
No, because we have limits of our vision. Do you know what the vanishing point is? Like if you're looking at railroad tracks, they appear to be converging together off in the distance to a point, but we know they're parallel with each other. Yeah, it's perspective. But at a certain point, the angular resolution of the way our eyes work, it just disappears in the distance into the horizon.
But can you use a telescope to make it go further?
Yeah, so like the idea with ships going over the curve, the ships that look like they're going over the curve, they're just going into the horizon of the limit of our perspective. You can zoom in with the telescope and see it again. If it was going over the curve, like going around the corner, you can't zoom in and look around the corner. If it's going over the curve, you can't see it.
It's like an IQ test.
That's you're changing the angle that you're viewing the distance, so that changes the angular resolution of your vision, and you're allowed to see further. So it's not like you're looking over a curve or anything. You should be able to measure that, because you can see Chicago 60 miles away over Lake Michigan. You can see the whole skyline of all the buildings, and with the globe math, 8 inches per mile squared, to look across the water, you wouldn't be able to see those buildings. So you can just look at them, see them, they're there. It's not a mirage or anything. A mirage would show it upside down or shimmering or waving. You can see it clearly. And this is all information that you can look up. I don't want you to just believe what I'm saying. Just verify it for yourself. What's that?
How do hurricanes work then?
Hurricanes are just a storm that spins, and it's likely connected with the electromagnetic force of the sun going around. And that has nothing to do with being on a globe.
Whenever you,
I mean, how would that prove that we're on a globe, though? I don't see how that would.
It spins, and because the Earth is spinning.
Have you ever moved your hand through water, and you see a vortex go on either side of your hand, going in different directions? So we have the sun that's localized mainly over the equator, and it goes in a circle. And so the energy through the ether would be forcing the storms to go one direction or the other. The ether,
that's a psychological.
you would have to look into that, but it's basically like the fifth element that connects everything. It's like all the electromagnetic forces that are around us, they need to be able to travel on some medium. So that would be the ether. So like waves in the water, you can't have the waves without the water. You can't perceive them. So with the ether, that would be like electromagnetic radiation.
It just takes every drug under the sun.
And that's a much deeper subject, but there's a lot of things that we've been taught that are not true about this realm that we live in. And we're just here to start the conversation, to get you thinking about what have we been told that is true and what's a lie. Just to examine it, just to start from scratch, because we know we've been lied to, and we need to start figuring out what the truth is. So just be open-minded and think for yourself, use your brain, use critical thinking. Don't just believe it because someone told you, like the scientists. I mean, there's money involved and it's corrupted. You can't just believe it just because somebody said it in a peer-reviewed paper.
It's very creepy. You know, they got Neptune.
You know what I'm saying? So let's try to make our own observations and check it out for ourselves and verify what they're saying is true. But like the moon landing, you can't verify the moon landing. This is what they tell us went to the moon.
What you'll find out is that if you really want to know, is
that little homeless tweaker shelter made of cardboard.
Yeah, but not the.
Well, that's not like what came from Earth. I mean, like there's like a whole rocket.
Yeah, modern religion.
Right, but they're saying that this landed on the moon, and then the top part took off. But if you look at the high-resolution photos on the NASA website, you can zoom in and see it's like bent cardboard that got wet on whatever studio or desert that they had this out in.
If they were trying to fake it, would they have used cardboard?
I don't know. I'm not the one lying.
I know, like would they?
Back in the '60s, they were able to go to the moon. Now they can't.
Yeah, but
well, because they just it's a lot of money to bring.
Oh, really?
Well, they said they destroy the technology. Don Pettit, one of these astronauts, he said, I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond, but we destroy the technology and we can't build it back again.
Because like we haven't used it in a while, so that's
well, he said they destroyed it, so that's his words. So
you can trust that
take it for what it. I'm just saying, like that's the narrative that they're giving us.
Yeah, they have to give you a little bit of truth bomb.
So what do you guys think when Elon Musk goes back to
that's the end of the road, you
the
know,
moon?
like
Do you think that's gonna be like
just lies, CGI? You think there's a up in space?
Religion sucks, so bad just sucks.
That thing would have like exploded the second it hit the vacuum. He said they didn't make it space hardened or whatever.
You're supposed to like talk to. He's like
The tires would explode. All the pressurized systems, like the brake fluid, it would explode. You'd see the fluid going everywhere. Paint flicking off. Well, there was a 4-hour supposed live stream of it going around spinning, and you can see it glitching out, like the earth in the background glitches, but the car doesn't.
That was just a video, I think. I think that's just a video.
It was supposed to be real.
And you gotta blindly believe it. You know, if you take, common sense and just use your senses.
Yeah, I would just examine it, because for me, for that one, I think the smoking gun was towards the end of the live stream. You can see condensation building up on the windshield. Condensation in space. That doesn't make any sense. So just critically think about what they're showing you and don't blindly believe it. Let's see what else. So this is the painting that they gave us in 1972. This is the first full image that they gave us of the Earth, showing Antarctica at the bottom.
It's a good painting.
There's something called photorealistic paintings, and this is in 72. So people would say, oh, they didn't have Photoshop. Yeah, but they had artists, and they could just pay a guy, hey, I want you to paint what the globe looks like, and they don't have to know they're lying. They just paint it. Okay, I did my job, and NASA goes out. Okay, look what we took a picture with a camera.
Okay. All right. How far away is the sun?
Like multiple millions of miles.
Yeah, but we need a number.
Like 560.
12 million.
That's a very specific guess. You 93 million.
I know it's 8 minutes of light years away.
That's what they say. Yeah, 93 million miles. Sorry, I can't give you money. What I'll give you, look, we can throw that one out and see if we can get the rest of them right. Do y'all know what the axial tilt of the Earth is? Supposedly tilted on. It's tilted on an axis.
It's 28 degrees. Something.
3.4.
Something like that. Yeah.
Guess what? So you take it from a 90-degree right angle, right? That's how geometry works. 66 degrees. Y'all heard of 666, right? All right, check this. They say the Earth curves at, so you got 66.6 degree tilt. They say it curves at 8 inches per mile squared. That's 0.666 feet per mile squared. They say we go around the sun 66,600 miles per hour. They say the circumference of the Earth in nautical miles is 21,600, which is 6 times 6 times 600. They say the diameter of the moon is 2,160, 6 times 6 times 60. The number for gravity is 6.67, which is 6.666 rounded up. It's just a troll, bro. It's the Luciferians, the Masons. They casted a troll on the world.
Bro, you need to block Geronimo.
You need to ask him what the G stands for, because if he doesn't know what it stands for, then he doesn't. It doesn't.
So
matter.
how long have you guys been out here?
Couple hours.
Yeah, we just walked around.
What are all the platforms you've been censored from?
Every one of them.
Really?
You just keep making videos.
Yeah. And then sometimes, like on YouTube, you have to wait out the strike.
Yeah.
If I get one more, I get permanently terminated on this one. Also, stuff happens like this. I got 2,000 subs in one night, and my number never changed. So they just censor the numbers. I've been kicked off PayPal. A processing.
And that's
because I'm a
low
flat
key.
earther.
Okay, here's the thing though.
Also, Flat Earth Society is all fake. Okay, it's misinformation by the CIA. Everything the Flat Earth Society says, no one believes. So if you Google Flat Earth, you won't get me. You won't get like the real Flat Earthers. You'll get Flat Earth Society. We think it's a disk in the solar system shooting up. No one thinks that's stupid nonsense. The Earth doesn't move. Do you feel like you're moving?
So how do you describe seasons?
The sun moves over top of us.
So we are not rotating.
No. The sun moves over. You know how when you see the sun move throughout the day and then it sets? They say it's actually still. It just looks like it's moving because you're falling backwards 1,000 miles an hour. That's a cool story.
Is it possible we're both moving?
No, the Earth doesn't move.
So what do you think that the Earth rests on? Just like nothing?
Scriptures say it has pillars. I don't know. The deepest that humans have ever dug is 7.8 miles. So I stick with what we can prove.
So why does it get hot the farther down you dig?
That's an interesting question. I mean, it's actually all of the globe Earth's predictions were wrong when they dug down. They thought it'd be hot here, it was cold here. They thought it'd be cold there, it was hot there. They thought it'd be wet there, it was dry there.
Do you hear about like the Russian hole?
Yeah, the Kola borehole.
Yeah, 7.8 miles. They were wrong about every one of their predictions. Why does it get hotter? I don't know. The scriptures say there's something called hell, but who knows? I can't go down there. I stick with what I can empirically prove. That's why I'm a flat earther.
Do any of you have an Android phone? I got a free app for you if you do.
I'm an iPhone.
Oh.
Same, you gotta be.
Okay.
Who's not? I'm just kidding, bro. Sort of.
Do you guys live around here? Or?
I'm from Tennessee. We're actually doing a tour around the United States because I keep
Tennessee.
Jackson, close to Memphis.
Are you gonna go to Nebraska?
Maybe.
You should.
Almost beyond just hearing it. But no, I'm like, there's probably some cool flat earthers. I don't know. We go to like every state.
We're gonna go to school in Nashville.
Oh, really? That's pretty cool.
Go to Lincoln, Nebraska, and I'll shout you guys out on my Instagram if you go. I'm from there. I like live right there.
Okay. You want to just follow me on IG and then you can.
You're type it in. Okay.
Here, if you happen to know anyone that, that has an Android phone, this is a free download. There's a code on the back. It's the Flat Earth Sun Clock app. It shows what the Earth looks like as a clock, with the sun and the moon going around, keeping time, the day and night.
That's how the whole New Year thing happens, right?
What do you mean?
So like, if the Earth's not moving, it's flat.
Yeah, there's just a
It's going through the months. So they're not saying it's that the world's spinning.
No, it's a stationary Earth, and the sun travels around every day, and the light stays with the sun
You don't think the
locally.
sunlight would just like go on like the whole land if it was on top of
Well,
it?
if you look through like a dome glass, you can see glass has a similar refractive index as water, and we know there's water in the air, and at a certain distance, you know, the light starts to bend, and there's a limit. Like just how in the ocean, like 200 feet down, it's pitch black even at noon. The light just can't get through all of that thick water. So at a certain distance, the light's just gonna fade off. So that's why the light wouldn't go forever.
So how would you like describe like a sunrise? Like
A sunrise, that's very interesting. So what we figured out is that the gases in the air, the gases level out like with the density levels, and certain gases will be, they'll light up with the electromagnetic field that the sun has at certain distances away from the sun. So the reason the sky would change color is because of the gases are being illuminated electromagnetically. And you can do that test in a lab. You can get a vial of different gases, a coil next to them, and move it closer, and it'll light up that certain color, all the colors of the sky, like xenon, argon, all the noble gases in the sky. It's very interesting. There's a YouTube channel called Dan Dimension that covers that, and you can see like the different colors of the sky during the sunrise and sunset. They're all connected with the different gases and how they are illuminated electromagnetically. And the sun isn't like a ball of gas. It's an electromagnetic light source.
you use electromagnetic
basically begging the question.
Because that's one of the prominent forces in this realm.
That's like
that
PhDs.
Basically governs how things work, like electricity, everything's electric. So it's electricity and magnetism.
Yeah. No.
And that's also tied in with what you would call gravity. And there's debates over what exactly is causing that. But as far as what it is, even mainstream science doesn't know, like Neil deGrasse Tyson. Like they said they can predict with it, but they don't know what it is exactly. Gravity, yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, no one knows exactly what gravity is, because you can't really
it's the same thing with
you would need the independent variable of controlling what gravity is to change it, to do an experiment to prove that Earth is pulling everything down. But you can't prove that. But on a flat Earth, everything just goes straight down, straight,
you know, like
all the way across the plane. It's not like a ball where everything's pointing up upside down. There's no people walking upside down.
Dependent variable, and that's your
like
observable
physics and
phenomenon, naturally occurring phenomenon.
I think there's like an equation
you have
where
an
they
independent
try to
variable,
explain
so you propose a hypothesis
the gravity of
that's
the
a
Earth.
cause and effect
I don't know, have
relationship
you?
test.
Yeah, I've taken physics.
You have to
I mean, I used to believe in the ball also, but a couple of years ago, all this information started getting out and spreading, and it just kind of makes you think about things that you never thought about before. So for me, the main thing was water. Just looking at how water lays flat. When large bodies of water, they always level off, and they don't curve around. So if Earth is 71% water, how can you have 71% flat and then the rest of it's curving? It doesn't add up.
It's because it's
they call it a theory that how the Earth is constructed, and I feel like
the mass is so large that
is also a theory,
the curvature allows the water to just take on the surface.
It was proposed by a Catholic
for
priest,
surface tension wise.
Surface tension?
Yeah.
Yeah, but have you ever tried spinning a water ball? Surface tension is on a small scale.
The mass is so big that that spin is like nothing to it.
That's why it's a heliocentric.
Yeah, but the rim velocity is still 1,000 miles per hour at the equator, and they tell us that there's a bulge of water 14 miles high. No one's ever experienced that. That's just what the math tells you it should be.
Which is funny too, because actually in the Big Bang, it
the Earth
claims there's
isn't
a
actually
pre-existing energy.
a circle.
So it's not everything comes from nothing.
Oblate spheroid.
Yeah, it's like a
So that still doesn't answer the question.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because all the pictures that NASA gives us are perfect
The
spheres.
Fibonacci sequence proves it too.
Well, not a perfect sphere.
Yeah, but you don't see that 14-mile bulge at the equator.
Yeah, I used to own a detail business. But
Neil deGrasse Tyson said it's like a pear-shaped.
I spend all my money.
Yeah, a little wider below the equator.
I like how you're using Neil deGrasse Tyson. It's cool.
Yeah, because we examine all these like well-renowned scientists, and we see what they talk about, and
he's like Carl Sagan. He's like not.
yeah, they're not actually scientists; they're just science communicators. And like Bill Nye, like he doesn't have a science degree.
No, Bill Nye.
He's just an actor. But people look up to him like he knows everything. Like everything he says is gospel.
Well, then, yeah, you don't listen to those guys. You listen to the people who make scientific papers on this stuff.
Yeah, so like Michio Kaku.
Peer-reviewed papers.
Michio Kaku is another one that he says in his field he doesn't even use a scientific method. They're flying by the seat of their pants.
I would encourage you to stop if you have.
Yeah, I mean I don't know everything about him, but he's got some crazy ideas about how things work.
I was injected
I saw like videos of him like predicting the
ever
future and
since
stuff.
I have not ever gotten cold.
Yeah, I mean I used to have his books. Like I used to be really into Neil deGrasse Tyson. Like I looked up to them, but I realized it was pretty much like a religion. You're just taking what they say as true and don't question it. Otherwise, people make fun of you.
Yeah.
Call you a flat earther. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
so
they're wrong.
it's just about questioning where we live, finding out what reality is, and using our own observations to show where we live, not just listening to what other people say.
Did you ever see that video, like the two, like I think they put like wood things really far apart, and there's a circle, and then basically the whole test is to see if the Earth is curved or not. So they raise a flashlight to see if the circle is filled with light or not.
Oh, are you talking about the Netflix movie? Yeah, that didn't show anything. The creators of that movie, Behind the Curve, they initially set out to create a human interest piece on what flat earthers are like, but towards the end they realized that, oh, there's children getting involved and they're into flat earth, and they had to take a stand against it. And they talk about this in like the behind the scenes of the movie, and they said that they had to like edit it a certain way to make flat earth look stupid. So the way that they edited it, it's not in order at all. And everyone who was there that night doing that test, trying to see how far the laser can go, see if it can prove whether there's curvature or not, everyone on both sides, globe or flat earth, they all decided like, okay, well, we couldn't really prove anything here. But in the movie, they want to try to imply that, oh, he proved that there's a drop, that there's curvature. But there's no such thing. I mean, you can, like I said, long distance photography, look up Mount Canigou. You can see it, I think it's from France, or the mountains in France. You can see it from over 100 miles away. during the sunset with the sun behind the mountain, it illuminates the mountain from hundreds of miles away.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that should be below the curvature based on the globular math,
but I think it's a certain
8 inches per mile squared.
Yeah.
So do you think that the
So you can just do the math yourself
I think
and make observations and decide whether or not there's.
Did you ever think about making
I
like a
think
paper
that
on
what
this?
you need to do is fast.
There have been papers done on this actually, but of course no one's mainstream science isn't gonna accept any of this
Well, why can't
because
you guys?
they're biased against.
Why can't the flat
against this
earthers
information.
At a, like say a conference or do a peer review?
Yeah, well, I mean, we do conferences, and there's something called FE Core. You should look that up. That's a scientific group that does experiments. They put a laser out, I think it was 40 or 50 kilometers across Lake Balaton. I think it was in Hungary. And they did a test to see if that laser could make it all the way across.
Oh, probably can't.
Yeah, and it did, and so that shows that there's no curvature across the water.
Yehoshua or Yeshua is
40 miles?
accurate abbreviation.
40 kilometers.
Oh, I mean,
So based on the math, let me see. I probably have it in here somewhere.
Close.
So this app has all the resources you need,
Actually, the word Yahweh tracks back to Judah.
and you can look up the
Yeah, they're close.
the formula for what curvature should be.
But yeah, they're the closest one.
Globe Earth calculator.
Some say Yahuwah.
So let's say it's 50 miles away,
it's a lot of different
or 40 miles away.
Yahweh is about Jupiter. But
So
it doesn't
here.
matter, like,
Yeah,
the creators went
Yeah,
through
so
names.
the eye height,
So, but
6
yeah,
feet.
I'm saying I didn't touch my shoulder. Okay.
And
I
the
know
target
it's something.
distance
It all
is
moved. It's
40
kinda
miles
warm
away.
and tingly, and it started to move.
So how
I
much
felt my
curvature
muscles
should you
move.
have?
in one instance and all.
Yeah. And it was ripped for like 5
So
years.
that's target hidden height, 900 feet of curvature. So they're going shore to shore. They have people on both sides of the shoreline.
Are you sure? I don't think that's right.
That's the math. I mean, you can do it yourself.
No, yeah.
Feel free
But
to look into it.
Because I don't know if it proves that much.
Church is complicated, but just give
We'll
it
have to check,
and
like-
pray.
It has to drop out pretty quick because it's going all the way around.
I don't say that.
And that's what like got most people looking into it because they're like, wait a minute. If there is curvature, it has to curve at some point, and if you actually do the calculation,
Yeah.
you can make the observation and
Private, but not
So,
figure it out for yourself. It's not
Also-
taking somebody's word for it.
so what do you think that the water would, like, would you think the water would just like fall off, like, or like how does that work?
I mean,
Not the globe, I mean,
Yeah, if it was a globe, the water would be spinning everywhere and going off into space, but we don't even think space exists.
Well, they say water stays on the planet because the pressure of the atmosphere pushes it down.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. There's gas pressure. How do you have gas pressure without a container?
Or not.
The necessary antecedent to gas pressure is having a container. With the globe, it's open into the vacuum of space. That's what they want us to believe. So you need a container to contain the gas pressure. The gas is pressing.
But
I mean, just think about it. The gas would go in to fill the available volume of outer space. So we know that we have to live in a contained environment.
That's why it's called that.
There's a ceiling above us. It's not outer space.
so what do you think?
You're supposed to
So what
be
do you
here, I'll
think
tell you
of
that.
gravity then? Like, it's just like.
It just goes straight down at 9.8 meters per second. But it's not a globe pulling
I know,
it
but
down.
why? Why is it that number?
I didn't invent it. I'm not the creator of this place. I'm just making observations. I can't tell you why it is.
Yeshua told us
What?
that we
How about meteors? What do you think of
Meteors?
Like Yeshua.
They're lights in the sky. They appear to be electrical phenomenon.
Enlightenment. Like,
Even when they hit
not
Earth?
even that. Like, I just.
Well, have you ever seen one go across the sky and then seen it in the ground? Like you followed it all the way to the site.
He loves it when we eat the fruit. Like, it's not that that's inherently bad. It's just
Okay, I mean they can give you any old hunk of metal and just tell you that it came from the
It's just how
sky.
you get the power. Like, you're supposed to get
If
it
there's a
from
hunk
the
of metal,
Father. You're
probably
not
metal
supposed to get it
before
from,
you'd
like,
actually be able to see it.
or Wicca, or
Yeah, so
And then
most of our experience with what they say meteors are is just seeing a light shoot through the sky.
What do you think of?
That doesn't mean it's a physical object coming down to hit
What do you
Earth.
think of the overall lights?
You go to heaven, but
Lights?
heaven's not just
Lights,
a magical place
like,
above you. It's all
stars?
around you. It's
Northern
when
Northern Lights? I mean, that's an electrical
When
phenomenon.
he comes
Why?
back, and
I
many times the church will
couldn't
teach
tell you
get
why it
on
happens.
fire,
Because
so
of
you
the
can
sun.
tell, but actually what it says
When it
is
sends out its
there is a lake of fire,
electromagnetic
but
wave
like very
towards the Earth,
briefly, and you
Yeah.
cease to
the Earth
exist.
has its arm.
It'll be as
and
if
it
you
generates
never
it
existed,
through
so it's not like
spinning
That's what
with the
I
lava.
think happens
The lava inside the Earth is
and I'm totally fine with that.
what's called
But wouldn't you rather
generates
have
its own.
eternal
The
life
magnetic
than
field?
spiritual? You wouldn't
And
rather have
that's
a
why you see
metaphysical
those
body
lights
where you
on
can
the north and the
move
south.
wherever you want.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they tell us
You
about,
wouldn't
like,
wanna
the
live
center of the
forever,
Earth
no pain,
is,
no
but
suffering,
like he
no
was saying, no one's dug more than 8 miles down to verify what's down there.
I just want to be gone.
But I mean, yeah, we see lights in the sky, but I mean, the cause of it, I don't think anyone knows 100%. Because you would have to be able to experiment with that, you have to manipulate
They
it.
sent measurements up.
You know you
They
have a
sent
spirit, right?
they sent balloons up into
Then why
that
do you
to
use
measure
spirit
what
so much, it's
what
just like a
reactions were happening.
Okay,
there.
that's
Where did that come
interesting.
from?
And
Science can't explain
the
Science can't explain
electromagnetic
your memories. Science
what's it
Science
called?
can't explain your
Like
consciousness
solar
or your
flare,
memories
right,
or
or
your
whatever,
intuition.
of the sun interacting with the electromagnetic flare of Earth.
Right.
And that's why it creates those like colors.
psychology
It's like the different colors of the gases, like helium or like whatever.
Yeah, kind of like what I was telling you about with the sunrise and sunset.
Yeah. But that's
So,
that was
but yeah, but that's not happening on a globe though. That doesn't really have anything to do with the shape. I mean, yeah, that can happen on a flat Earth just the same exact way.
But it happens in the
Saul
north
and
and
the
the south.
scriptures used to kill all
Yeah, the north and the
people
south,
legally
and
found.
there are models that show that the center would be. I can actually show you. I have a model here. You can have the North Pole as the center, and then the dome covering the top,
His name is Jehovah.
and then Antarctica would be all around the outside edge.
I agree.
And you can have light reflecting through the dome to be able to get around the outside. So I don't have it with me right now, but I did like a glass of this is hollow.
Yeah, is that Australia?
Yeah, that's Australia.
Oh, okay.
But if you have a solid glass little dome, half dome, then you can see the way light bends through the dome, and it has like a certain way where it only reaches a certain distance. So it has like, you see that little curve there.
So do you think the moon is the same size as the sun?
It looks like it. I mean, we're supposed to believe that that the sun is 400 times larger than the moon, and also coincidentally 400 times larger, further away.
So what do you think? What do you think of
Looks the same size to me.
what do you think the moon is? Like just chilling there, like just random, like showed up. Like,
Well, there are some scientists that say the moon could be plasma, but I certainly don't think it's a physical object that you can land on.
yeah, why would it be plasma?
You probably got like 6 or 7.
I don't know. I mean, you can test as.
How would it be in a ball?
But
How are those
drinks
involved?
fluoride.
Well, I mean, how do you know it's a ball?
So why is that a ball?
organisms.
I mean, this is just a
Why does
model
it show
to
up as
give you an
a ball in
idea.
Space?
What?
Why is there a circle every time you see it?
Yeah, it's a circle. You can verify
I know
that.
why. Why is there a circle?
I didn't create it, so I don't know why it would be a circle. But I can tell you that you don't see the other side of it.
Have you ever got a telescope and looked at the moon?
Yeah, I do that all
It's
the
a
time.
sphere.
It's a circle,
That's actually.
but you don't see the other side of it.
I know, but you
It
can
looks
see-
like it could be spherical, but we can't
well,
prove
even
that.
Like, even it's like a half sphere.
It's a lot.
It's a circle.
Have you ever drove around the U.S.? I'm doing it
Yeah,
now.
the moon
All
could
you
be like
see is
this,
wind
like
everywhere.
just looking at us like this. I mean, that doesn't make it a place you can go
Look at
to.
you can look at all sides of the moon though, and so when you look at the telescope, you're not looking at the
No,
same
no,
side.
you can see it rotate like this. You can see the face of the moon rotate in the sky
So
as it goes across.
So would the moon be circling too? Like how does that work? How do you see all sides of the moon?
No, they don't even grow.
I showed you in the app. You can see the moon going around.
Come to Nebraska. Come to Nebraska.
Nebraska has a lot of corn that's genetically
Give me a sec.
modified.
And that's what keeps that they can feed all those.
Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app.
They'll die.
In there.
Yeah.
So right now,
But you know,
hang
actually,
on, let me go
it
back to
didn't originally
today.
taste good to you. You had to get used to liking it.
Right now it's waning gibbous,
Always had GMOs.
Well, I quit eating GMOs.
and when I speed it up, you can see the path that it takes.
Okay.
From the store, I was
But you do realize that without
And then the
GMOs,
phases change
most
on
of
their
the
own.
population-
The moon is the source. source. It's not reflecting off of the sun.
Put it in the ground.
Its own light source.
Its own light source, yeah. And you can actually measure it on a full moon night. Take a thermometer, and you can measure objects that are in the shade of the moon versus in the direct moonlight. And the shade,
but don't you think
the shade is warmer?
don't you think this area would be hotter or more bright than the areas over here?
What do you mean?
Since this has its own light source, this area would be brighter than this area over here.
Well, the moon has a different kind of light, and it's not as bright as the sun. The sun is massively brighter.
Hey y'all, we gotta dip soon so we can get the metro back.
What time? Oh,
Only
okay.
like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So
It's a massive subject. I'm just trying to give you the basics of what we've looked into. I mean, I've spent thousands of hours looking into the subject. It's just fascinating to me about knowing where we are. And it sucks that we've been lied to, but you know, you just kind of accept it and then dig through it and find out what's true. And you figure it out for yourself. You don't just rely on one source. You look at different sources. You compare them and cross-examine.
So have you looked at the bad sources too?
Yeah.
Or do you just look at...
I look at all the sources I can find.
Even like, say, videos on the moon? Like, have you...
Yeah, there's... Oh, you should look up Crow 777, the lunar wave. Look up that video. You can see the moon. It has like a refresh, like wave.
Perfect world.
As if it's like a hologram or something.
You sure it's not the video?
We wouldn't have a government.
You can look into it yourself.
Oh.
I can't make a claim about 100% what it is, but it looks as if the moon is not a physical object.
If I grow a bunch of food, I could go
So look up the lunar wave. It's pretty well known, and you know, you can just make up your own mind about it. But Crow 777 lunar wave.
The scripture says time means opposition. It's not a bad guy with horns.
And feel free to check out my YouTube channel. Let's see, where is it?
Is there one of these or no?
No, I don't think so. Do I have it here?
Like God can't be real because cancer's real. Is your argument?
I think I gave away all my cards.
There's a little girl.
Let me see. Here we go. Critical Inception is my channel. Check it out. It's on YouTube.
Oh, why this thing?
Huh?
Why that?
So it's like the Inception symbol.
Oh.
It's spinning on the water. Remember in the movie, that's how he knew whether he was in a dream or in reality.
Yeah.
So water is the totem in this reality to know whether you're on a flat plane or on a globe. And we see the water, it levels off.
Because like gravity's constant, right? So then water interacts with gravity. Is that what you're trying to say?
Water is, it levels off when there's large bodies of water, and you never see it curving over a ball. Every observation that you make.
I have an idea for you. So in Nebraska, in our...
So I would encourage you to look into it.
So again, you don't think it's like the size of the ball that matters?
Come testify about bills.
No, because you would need a radius of a globe to be able to measure that.
Literally,
so
that way, and they're televised.
So
you'd have to prove that there's 4,000 miles below is the center of the Earth, and that would be the radius of the Earth. That number is based off of assuming Venus is the same size of Earth and watching Venus go across the sun. Venus is just a dot in the sky. Doesn't have to be a physical object. It's just a light. And the scientists from hundreds of years ago, they're just assuming, oh, that looks like it's the same size as Earth.
I'm assuming when you were a baby.
And then they use that measurement to do a calculation and say, oh, so the radius of Earth is 3959 miles. It's an assumption. It's called an academic axiom. And they just go with that baseline and they build on top of that. But if the baseline is incorrect, then everything on top of it is also incorrect.
I mean, I definitely can...
All of the globe math is based on that radius. And that radius cannot be verified.
Well,
probably
why
the
can't
government
it?
and big pharma like keeps the
You can't.
from us. That's what I think. That's as far as I'll go.
How would you prove with your own resources that the radius of the Earth is 3959 miles?
Yeah, I could do that.
Probably how that Greek guy did it.
If you drink a lot of water,
If you know what I mean? I don't know, like
Yeah, but that also works on a flat plane. I mean, we explained you would have to assume that the sun is 93 million miles away, and the light rays are coming in parallel.
The body's so amazing.
So how about you do it? How about you do the same experiment, but then assume the sun is closer, like you said?
Food is medicine.
Yeah. So my point is that that's not a good way to verify either way, because based on your assumptions, it can go either way. I mean, it doesn't prove anything.
The flu rebranded.
So we don't even like waste our time doing experiments like that.
I literally got it.
But I mean, this was just the our advanced levels to it. But we just want to start people off with the basic idea of what a flat Earth is, and it's not what they teach you in school. It's not like a rectangle floating in space. You don't even think space exists. So all we know is just the Earth round that we live in, with flat water, and we're not able to explore Antarctica or any of that area. Anything below 60th South Parallel, it's all blocked off. You'd have to spend millions of dollars just to get an application through the government, just to go find out that you can't even bring extra fuel. So you're not going to get very far.
The same percentage of the people get pneumonia.
So it's just very suspicious why that area would be blocked off since 1959. And there's basically what's called a preponderance of evidence. It's not any one thing in particular, aside from water, in my opinion, that proves Earth is flat. It's about debunking the globe, knowing that that's not real, and just seeing every little other clue that points to a flat Earth.
Do you believe wormholes exist? Like black holes exist?
That's all speculation. You can't prove any of that.
How do you explain that?
You know, the only way for the gravity idea to work is if there's dark matter.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing.
And you can't test dark matter. You can't prove it exists. But it's just so when you start to lie, you have to create more lies to uphold the first lie. And then you just build it on lies and lies and lies.
Does yours be built on lies though?
No, because it's built off of your basic observations and your basic sensations. You don't feel us moving and spinning 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, because gravity and all the environmental forces are holding us in one place right now.
I mean, that's just an excuse. I mean, think about it. They tell us that what keeps us on the Earth is gravity holding us down, and it's matched up with the spinning force of the Earth. That only works on the equator. If you go towards the North Pole, then you're gonna weigh more, because gravity is the predominant force compared to the centrifugal force of the Earth spinning.
You do have more gravitational force the closer you are, like, to the equator, or like no, I mean when you're farther away.
I want you to know
when you're closer to the equator, you get more gravitational force. That is measured. It is not exactly 9.81 meters per second of force. Right? That's why it's changed. So it's not like a constant number. It can change depending on your location. You can measure while you're on a, say, mountain, or say you're in a canyon. You can measure that there's a difference in gravity. So, right? Have you tried that?
I haven't done that test myself, but I mean, it's something to look into. But from what I've seen, there's just too many things that point to the globe being alive.
So I mean, if you test that, then it makes your argument even stronger if you test it yourself.
Okay, yeah, and I'm sure at some point someone will determine that, but either way, that doesn't make water bend. That's the biggest thing. You would have to have bending large bodies of water.
You could still run. We literally have people in there who barely got through college.
I mean, the thing for me is actually not dying, because I don't feel that at all.
Because again, this sphere is so big that it's hard for water to escape
I'm not either.
I get to go be with the Father forever.
Okay, I mean, that's an excuse. You can tell yourself that. I'm just being honest with you. I mean, what I've seen with the globe is it's like a religion.
You should make a simulation of the Earth on a computer and see if that works.
I think it's been done. That's definitely something to look into.
You should believe other people and what they say.
Yeah, I know, and you should also look at different sources. I'm not a computer genius that I can make a computer simulation.
You don't have to. You can find someone else who can.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's why we have a community of people that we help each other out.
So I'd reach out.
And we all do our own experiments. And there are millions of people who are into this In Brazil alone, there was 11 million. There was a survey that was done. And in the U.S., it was about 2% of the population that know Earth is not a globe.
By the way, do you know what time the metro ends?
I couldn't tell you.
The creator told me to stop.
What time is the metro?
It closes at 11, so you should probably 8 minutes to like walk there.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Oh.
Okay.
Bye, it's good to meet you.
Yes.
Thanks for
Yeah,
being
good chat.
open-minded. I know that it was a lot. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys. Thanks for listening. Y'all have a good night.
See me on the gram. Thanks for being open-minded, guys. Yeah.
Bye.
Later.
How about that?
They were pretty open-minded.
Yeah, he had some good questions. He's definitely holding on to the ball, but live stream is still going. 47 in chat. Thanks for watching, everybody. Just Jack. Yeah, I wish I could have been reading the chat while I was talking with them, but it's a little hard to multitask.
Yeah, I was trying to get them to not say anything that gets you marks.
Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely have to review the footage and address all the questions they had. They had some good questions, you know.
Dude, like these girls, they were asking me questions that like you're not supposed to talk about. And I kept being like, she can't say that word. But she stopped saying, she didn't say the word, she would just go, I got the.
Oh, okay, like with YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try my best.
It's all good.
Every question they could think of.
Oh, man.
That was pretty intense.
Yeah, well, I kept it, these guys kept it straight with Flat Earth. But, I mean, they're really interested, so.
That's cool.
Yeah.
They were supposed to come up here.
Yeah, man.
I'll recap the combo whenever that's
for sure, yeah. I mean, that seems like a good conversation to cap off the night.
Yeah, we were supposed to be here for sure. They were supposed to talk. They just came and talked to me. Indeed. Yeah, it's gone.
That's all the sign, man.
Yeah, it is, dude. Every one of the interactions. It's insane. I don't care. If I die, nothing else ceases to exist. That sounds cool. I'm like, what?